With Jess desperate to learn more about the life of her grandmother, the 13th Doctor brings her friends to the Punjab in 1947 to meet her in the past. But with marriage unknown to Jess on the cards and the partition of India threatening to pull her family apart, it may not be the mysterious demons that are the biggest threat. Welcome, friends and companions! How are you today? Sci-fi and fantasy fans and all sort of fans meet on this channel for fun chats about their beloved books, movies, series, and franchises. We also talk about food and drinks, music and sport, and a special place on this channel for Doctor Who. Random, because we will discuss everything that involves entertainment, including movies and series, books, and music. Random, because we'll broadcast on non-fixed times, actually many different times. You need to subscribe to this channel to know what time the broadcast is. Random also, because we have no guests or different guests. Depends on what you join me in live stream or panel. If you want to join me in live stream, feel free to contact me via Discord or YouTube and we'll look what is possible. And what all is possible to invite me for your channel for a live stream or panel. I'm available for that. I want to make friends and network and talk about things we are interested in. So feel free also to invite me. The Discord server is called Random Entertainment Channel. Tag Doctor Who on Discord. You will find me very quick because I bump the server regularly. So cheers, mate, and have lots of fun. This is your host, Enigmatic Joker. So today, a 13th Doctor story, Demons of the Punjab. 13th Doctor, Jodie Whittaker. So, first some general info about the story. Demons of the Punjab was the 6th episode of Series 11 of Doctor Who. The episode further expanded on Yasmin Khan's family and heritage, exploring her grandmother Umbrine's personal history in India during its partition in 1947. This episode reintroduces mistaken about the intentions of aliens involved with death. Much like Twice Upon a Time, the 13th Doctor believed the aliens intended to kill, but were in fact non-hostile. The Arians were not killing, but instead bearing witness. This episode also had the Doctor explain more about the specific details of how the telepathic circuits worked. So in April 2019, Demons of the Punjab was nominated for a Hugo Award for Best Dramatic Presentation, short form. Writer Vinay Patel won Best Scriptwriter at the Eastern Eye Arts, Theatre and Culture Awards in 2019. Okay, we will dive now into the plot. So you can decide for yourself to listen further or watch the story first. But let's begin. Let's start. Yasmin Khan is in her family's flat with her family, celebrating her nanny Umbrine's birthday. Umbrine provides each of her granddaughters with a gift. To Sonia, she gives a photo of herself and her grandfather. To Yasmin, she gives a broken watch, warning her never to fix it, but refuses to reveal why. Jess gets a desire to travel back in time to see her family. In the TARDIS, the 13th Doctor is doing maintenance on the controls. She tells Jess that she will not take her back in time to see her grandmother, as it risks wiping herself out of existence. Graham lost that it's not like they take risks. The Doctor tells him in an annoyed tone that she has apologized repeatedly for the incident involving the Dead Eye Turtle Army. Jess begs the Doctor as she wants to go see what her grandmother was like in her younger days. Doctor asks if Jess has time or place. Jess tells her that Umbrine was in the Pakistani city of Lahore in the 1950s. Despite trying to talk herself out of it once more, the Doctor relents and takes the watch from Jess. She's touching it to telepathic circuits, allowing them to find the moment that it broke in Umbrine's timeline. Graham wonders how the TARDIS can be telepathic. Doctor says that telepathic is shorthand for a very complicated procedure, which is locating where anything has existed throughout the entirety of space-time. Graham seems to have understood and thanks the doctor for explaining it clearly. The TARDIS arrives in the Punjabi countryside instead of Lahore, confusing Yes, Ryan, and Graham. Doctor takes out a sonic screwdriver and starts to get TARDIS readings from all around the area. Suddenly, they are struck by some sort of vision of dark figures and stumble into a road. There they meet Prem, who is driving an ox-pulled cart. They claim to be family, friends, and get a ride to see Umbreen. In the forest, they track the demons to a ship of some kind. The demons' lair. The doctor can't get any readings. Eventually, she acquires species, data, and BIA ID. The ship is a Tyrian hive, and the Tyrians are assassins. The target is Sadhu, a Hindu holy man known as Bhakti. Prem claims to have seen them before, standing over the body of his older brother, Kunal, while serving in the Second World War. And then the Tyrians appear and they are forced to evacuate the hive. Out in the forest, Ryan and Prem are transported away, and the doctor notices a device on a tree nearby, a transmat lock, and confiscates it. Ryan and Prem appear some distance away, and Prem asks what happened. Ryan says he does not know, but the doctor said to get out of the forest so they both run. And the doctor continues to find more locks. Back at the farm, Umbreen continues to argue in favor of her marriage. Yes becomes discouraged when she believes she doesn't truly know her nanny. And Graham comforts her. Suddenly, they hear Ryan yelling and rush to discover what is wrong. The doctor arrives shortly after and tells them to run for the barn. Inside the barn, the Tyrians arrive and threaten everyone there with death. But the doctor drives them away with the locks. She promises to protect them all. Then the doctor requests oil, free bark, saucepans, 9 containers, ox spit, a biscuit, and a chicken poo. She uses them to make demon repellents. Umbreen speaks with the doctor. Yes, and Umbreen's mum sit and speak together. Umbreen says she'll go through with the wedding, and her mother adamantly protests. They need someone respectable to officiate. Remembering the doctor, Umbreen asks her to officiate the wedding, as the doctor is a respectable position. The doctor agrees, claiming she hadn't officiated a wedding since Einstein's, which his parents disapproved, and that the wedding was non-denominational. Elsewhere, Ryan, Gravy, Prem, and Manish are playing cards. Manish appears to be winning. He argues with his brother, asking Prem not to go through with the wedding. In the barn, the doctor is studying some material recovered from the hive. Notes it is from some of the densest organic material she has ever seen, and it contains carbon, phosphorus, oxygen, and sulfur, creating billions of DNA fragments. Suddenly, she is transmitted away to the hive. There she learns that the Tyrian world was destroyed in the assassin's absence. They claim to have become witnesses and spent 100 generations honoring their lost world. Now they travel to witness and honor those left dead, unseen and unknown, in the wake of the partition. Now they come to honor Prem. She asks to see how the holy man died, and they show her. The doctor returns to reveal that Prem must die today and that the Tyrians are not actually assassins but merely observers to those who are killed. She warns that they cannot interfere, or Umbreon will never become, yes, Nani. In the morning, Ryan and Graham help Prem prepare for his wedding day. He mourns that so many around him seem to have lost their minds. Muslims, Hindu, and Sikhs, who lived together for decades, are now in a frenzy, convinced their differences are more important than what unites them. Graham comforts him, saying the best They can be is good men. The doctor officiates the wedding by a small stream at the border of India and Pakistan. Using her sonic screwdriver, she removes the road border markers Manish had placed up earlier. She admires the certainty of Prem and Umbreen, the certainty of love. She says right now, they are the strongest people on the planet, maybe even the universe. She then admits she doesn't know how to formalize the ceremony. Umbreen says she does and picks up one of Manish's boundary ropes and asks Yes to tie their hands. Later, inside a barn, Umbreen offers Manish a reconciliation, and Manish coldly casts her and his own brother aside. After that, Prem offers Umbreen his watch but drops it on the ground, where it breaks. Umbreen's mother says the day is truly cursed, but Umbreen says it is instead perfect and that the watch is theirs forever, their own moment in time. Manish leaves to find his brother's rifle, and the doctor follows him. He then points the rifle at the doctor and warns her to take her friends and leave it they want to get out alive. The doctor realizes he has betrayed his whole family as well as murdering the holy man. Men on horseback are charging down the road to take their land. The doctor warns Prem and Umbreen to run. Prem tells Umbreen to go to the house and take anything essential. In the house, Yes finds a map of the earth, with Sheffield marked on it. And Breen says she just pointed to a map, and that was where her finger landed, and so that is where she will go one day. In the barn, Prem offers to stay behind and distract the groups of ducks and tells them all to go ahead, across the border into the forest, and kisses Umbreen goodbye. He tells the doctor to go as well, claiming he must face these demons alone. He confronts his brother and attacks. He recognizes a man named Cannon, a soldier he fought with during the war, only to now see his former ally is prepared to shoot him. Nothing he says changes their minds. However, Cannon shoots Prem, killing him. The Aryans stand vigil, honoring Prem as everyone flees. Back on the TARDIS, Yes worries if Umbreen managed to escape. If Umbreen died then, Yes will fade away. Doctor tells a stunt Jess that her grandmother made it out alive. Will eventually end up in Sheffield. At flat 27, Jess speaks with her nanny. Breen notices the design on Jess's hands, saying it isn't much good it isn't much good, but asks if the wedding was at least any good. Jess affirms, her nanny not knowing it was her wedding she had seen. Jess asks if she is happy with how her life turned out. She says she is happy with it because it gave her Jess's mom and sister, and offers to tell her the story about a watch if she really wants to know. Jess says she no longer wants to know about the watch and tells her nanny she loves her. And that, my friends and companions, is the end of the story, Demons of the Punjab. I will name some cast members. The Doctor is played by Jodie Whittaker. Graham O'Brien is played by Brett Walls. Ryan Sinclair is played by Tosin Cole. Yasmin Khan is played by Amanda Gill. Nani Umbreen is played by Lina Andingra. Umbreen is played by Amita Suman. Prem is played by Shana Zaza. Manish is played by Hamza Yetoa. Hasna is played by Shaheen Khan. Naiya is played by Shopna Gulati. Hakim is played by Ravin J. Ganatra. Sonia is played by Vanisha Parmar. The voice of Kishar is voiced by Emma Fielding. The performance of Kisar is Natalie Kusner. The voice of Almak is voiced by Isabel Middleton. And the performance of Almak is Barbara Fedden. So there are some cast members. Some will building the story. With the Doctor, 3 points. The Doctor awards Ryan a gold star, but quickly remembers she forgot about points. The second thing is that while participating in the pre-wedding celebrations, the Doctor muses that she never used to do this kind of thing when she was a man. a reference to her previous 30 male incarnations. As such, she mentions her body, gender, regeneration ability. And a third thing is that the Doctor can officiate weddings, having previously officiated Albert Einstein's. So we're building with the TARDIS. One thing, the Doctor mentions the TARDIS telepathic circuits. It says that any object amasses all sorts of fragmentary spatio-temporal particles through its life, and the TARDIS can read it like date stamps. Some will building culture, 8 points. First one, the people of Punjab speak Punjabi. Second, Hindu wedding custom is to have the couple's hands tied together during their vows. A third thing is that a Muslim wedding custom is for the groom to give a prized position to the bride, a so-called mar. A fourth thing is that henna is a body art used to celebrate weddings in the Punjab. They are Mendi sun patterns. A fifth thing is that Umbrin says doctor is respectable. The sixth thing is that the men are playing cards. Seventh thing is that Prem mentions how Muslim, Hindu, and Sikh used to live together. And the eighth thing is that Hafna calls Umbrin Beti. She's in turn uses the same term talking to Yasmin. Some world building in people, with people. Umbrin's husband took her dancing every Wednesday. Umbrin gives Sonia a pressed yellow daffodil. The third is the Grey mentions his bucket list. Fourth, Bhakti is said to believes that walking the lands serve a better purpose than driving. Fifth thing is that Yes says he's Uncle Malik's third cousin's younger sister. Bree says there are loads of Uncle Maliks. Fifth thing is that the radio announcer says that after much delay and amid escalating communal violence, Lord Mountbatten has finally released the specific details of the borders, which will separate India and Pakistan. Another thing is that Prem owns a rifle. And another thing is that when the doctor detects no life signs in the hive, suggests the diarians could be shopping, catching a movie, or bowling. Prem's older brother Kunal fought with him in war. Hasna mentions her husband and parents. And last thing in people is that Kishar and Almak decide to give up their assassin past after their own planet's unwitnessed destruction. Some world building with species. The Taras team previously almost got killed by that eye turtle army. Another thing is that an ox pulls Bram's card. Third thing is that Tyrians are also known as the assistants of Tyr. And armed men are riding in on horses. Some will bidding with food and beverages. Umbrin celebrates her birthday with a shop bought chocolate cake with nuts in it, decorated with stars made of dark white and light chocolate. Second thing is the counts are drinking coffee, tea, and water. And the third thing is that cinnamon buns and chocolate fudge are also being served. So I'm will bidding in technology. Sonia is using her iPhone. The Sonic screwdriver detects coordinating waves, meaning octonic engine is nearby. Third thing is that Dr. Screwdriver locates a transmat doorway to a Tijarian hive. And the Tyrians use miniaturized transmat locks to create transmat barriers. Then some wall building vehicles. And Brina has been conditioned to a wheelchair in her older days. And Brand drives an ox cart, and the doctor requests ox spit. Some things in chemicals. For science experiment, the doctor needs oil, water, tree bark, saucepan, 9 containers, an old newspaper, a touch of ox spit, a chicken paw, and a biscuit. Although the biscuit is for her, not for the experiment. And the second thing is that the purple dust is made up of carbon, phosphorus, oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, and calcium, all combining into billions of DNA fragments. Some will being in business, and Breen was the first Muslim woman to work in a textile mill in South Yorkshire. Right. Another thing is Prem is a flower merchant. Some locations. Breen lived in Lahore, Pakistan in the 1950s. The TARDIS lands in the northern Punjab. Prem says they come all the way from England. Prem was in war in Singapore. The homeworld of Tejar was destroyed, killing billions of inhabitants, and one of the armed men fought with Prem in Siam. And last thing in the world building is that The TARDIS team has landed on the 17th of August 1947 during the partition of India. Okay, some story notes. Um, For the second time this series, the usual Doctor Who team does not play over the ending credits. In contrast to Rosa, this episode plays on Indian music inspired a version of the theme with Shahid Abbas Khan, who sang throughout the score. Vocally performed the melody for this arrangement. A second story note is that it is the first episode of Series 11 that isn't written or co-written by Chris Chibnall. A third thing is that this episode was broadcast on Remembrance Sunday and centenary of the armistice that ended the First World War. As such, it focuses on themes of remembrance. A third thing is that this is the second episode of Series 11 in which the title may be considered to have a double meaning, following the woman who fell to Earth. In this case, demons may refer to the Tyrians or the Hindu thugs who killed Prem, as he refers to them as demons. A fifth thing is that this episode marks the first time the six crystals around the TARDIS console are shown moving while in flight. The tips of the six crystals move in rhythm with sinking and rising of the crystal pillar in the console, seemingly pulling the pillar up, giving a more organic feel to the control room. While in this episode we only glimpse one of the crystals moving in the blurred out background as the Doctor is talking to Jess, we see the crystals moving properly in Carablan. And last story noticed that Sasha Dewan was offered a role but turned it down because of a scheduling conflict. And a year later, he was cast as the spy master. So, last thing about the continuity. Because again and again, I say it almost every live stream, stories and episodes are to some extent related to each other, are linked to each other, reference to each other, and influence. And Yeah. Oh, and when I watch stories and episodes of Doctor Who, I always discover new things, and I think see things say these are linked, and so there's always an interpretation as a fan to see some links between stories and episodes. So I've got a few continuity things. First, Doctor pilots the TARDIS again, using the telepathic circuits to find a specific place and time in relation to one of her companions. We see that in TV story Listen and Dark Water. And Listen, that's a story with the 12th Doctor, Peter Capaldi, and companion Clara. And Dark Water, also with the 12th Doctor and Clara. Um, A second thing is that the 10th Doctor also visited India during the 1947 partition with Donna Noble, and that is in Prose Coast of India. A third thing is that the Doctor lists several things she needs to those around her to get her in order to solve the matter at hand. The 11th Doctor, Matt Smith, did the same at the White House in TV story The Impossible Astronaut. A fourth thing is that the Doctor mentions that she was given points to everyone, and we see the TV story The Suranga Conundrum. A fifth thing is that the Doctor awards gold stars to her companions, and that is a link to the audio story The Sonomancer. A sixth thing is that Yes's Muslim faith was briefly touched upon before TV story Rosa. Seventh thing is that Doctor recalls having been a man. Yeah, that is was the TV story Another Tilled Twice Upon a Time. In that period. So Graham calls the Doctor Doc. So also TV star Rosa Arrogance in the UK, Sunagra Conundrum, and in prose Doctor 13th. Another thing is that Doctor refers to the danger of going back in time to observe family members. That is also For example, the TV story Father's Day with the Ninth Doctor, Christopher Eccleston, and companion Rose Tyler. Though this time it is not as disastrous. So that's risks. So the doctor states she's too kind, something her predecessor told her to be. I see that in TV story Twice Upon Time with Peter Capaldi. The doctor remarks she loves weddings. Her 10th TV story The Runaway Bride with David Tennant. At the 11th incarnations, Matt Smith held similar opinions. I see that TV story The Big Ben and Let's Kill Hitler. Although the 10th Doctor remarked he was rubbish at his own. A TV story Blink. By the way, by contrast, the 12th Doctor hated weddings in comic The Clockwise War. Another thing is that the Doctor has attended several weddings before. We see it in TV story Father's Day with Christopher Eccleston, Big Bang, and that is with the 11th Doctor and Amy, River, and Rory. And in comic, Hunters of the Burning Stone. So the second, and then another thing is that the Doctor states that the people with her heir under her protection. The 11th Doctor Matt Smith has voiced similar sentiment multiple times in TV story 11th Hour, Doctor with a Wardrobe, and the Bells of St. John and Nightmare in Silver. And the last thing in continuity is that the Doctor incorrectly assumes malicious intent from aliens present at people's deaths. You see it in TV story Twice Upon a Time with the 12th Doctor, Peter Capaldi, and actually also First Doctor in it. And the First Doctor in this story is played by David Bradley. Was it? Yeah. Okay. That's all I have to say about this story. We now go into the commercials. So, sci-fi fantasy fans and all sort of fans meet on this channel for fun chats about the beloved books, movies, series, and franchises. We also talk about food and drinks, music and sport, and a special place on the channel for Doctor Who, our most beloved sci-fi series. And I will watch it till eternity. Random, because we discuss everything that involves entertainment, including movies and series, books, and music. Random, because we podcast on non-fixed times, actually many different times. And there's always that's also the case with the Doctor who travels through time and space. But we have different time zones on this in this world. So and I want to make as much friends and as possible. So I broadcast on different times, and I want to meet people from different time zones. So that's the reason I do live streams on different times. So you need to subscribe to this channel to know what time the broadcast is. Random also because we have no guests or different guests. It depends what you join me in live stream or panel. If you want to join me in live stream, feel free to contact me via YouTube. You can put a comment on one of the videos, or you can meet me on Discord server and we look what is possible. And also is possible is to invite me for your channel. I'm available to contribute to your channel and to talk about the things you're interested in. So feel free to invite me for that. So in summary, you are invited from the channel to join me in the live stream to talk about things. And also, I'm available for your channel in a live stream panel to talk about things we like. Yes, so Discord server is called Random Entertainment Channel Tech Doctor Who. And you find me very quick on this board because I run the server regularly. So cheers, mate. Have lots of fun, yo. Enigmatic Joker. So very, very good, very good, very good. So I'm looking forward to meet you. See you next time. Have a nice day. This is your host, Enigmatic Joker.
Goodbye. Bye bye. Bye bye.